already done the masking fluid, and I've got a palette of colours that I'm now going to splash about and have some fun with. So really dark. Just want to get a feel for the colours themselves before I figure out how I'm going to use them. And for those of you who think you can't do this, I know that I have a lot of painting experience, but I suspend all of that for these and I just play. There's nothing to stop you playing. I've set the intention that the people watching the video and myself will explore some of our triggers, things that need to be dealt with and unblocked. I have no idea what's going to come out, but that's kind of the exciting part of the whole thing. So I'm actually applying this to dry paper, but this paper is going to get pretty wet over the next few days. Wet and dry multiple times. Quite like this colour the most so far. And then there's this gorgeous colour, look at that. Now I'm using these very watery to begin with. I prefer to use very condensed colour on a wet page, but as I said, these are just getting a feel for what's there. I might put that in the corner. Nothing to it, this part anyway. So I'm not even caring about the purity of the colours. I don't mind how they blend at this stage or how I use them at this stage. Right, let's see. I'm going to just spray the surface a bit. See if we can get some movement in the drops. It's best to try and do a uniform spray, otherwise the page will warp in the worst ways sometimes, and it's not usual to actually spray underneath the page. Which keeps it a more uniform. Oh, I like that. A lot. Might have to do a bit more of that. Okay, still let's walk in at the top there. Let's get this really wet. A very earthy and fiery person, but my attraction to water is second to none, and I am fascinated by the colours of it. I can sit and, doesn't matter whether it's ocean, river, doesn't matter what it is, I can sit for days looking at scenes like that. And I'm not even going to mind if it does pool in areas, because pooling water. So this is actually one colour, so I'm not going to mind throwing in. Oh, yes, now we're talking. Now we're talking. And if if you can see that. Hang on, let me move the page a bit. And how that's working in the corner here. Loving it. This is different blue. I never use black, so wherever you see darker colours, it's actually usually Payne's grey mixed with whatever the colour is. There are cool and warm shadows, but no black. And some of this blue. Straight out of the box. This almost looks like, if it wasn't blue, I'd say that almost looks like fire. It's just so feathery and soft, untamed. I'm going to wet the top of that page a bit more, get it a bit flatter. Now obviously wherever I spray, the water will cause the pigment to move, so you know, instead of covering the whole page in colour, I prefer to kind of let it do its own thing. So in that way I have control, but I kind of want the co-creation. Otherwise, how does your subconscious emerge on a page if you are controlling it too much? In other words, you have to leave some elements open to just being what they are. Remember, we have set the intention that we're working with complex PTSD triggers. We don't know what they are. Well, most of us have a good idea of what the lockbox looks like. We're not always aware of what sets us off in day-to-day life. But we do know more or less what the subject matter is. And that's how we avoid it at all costs. So this is a process where you're dealing with the box without opening it, and I find it works a little bit like journaling. And once you've written something down, it tends to leave you alone in the strangest way. It's like it's been purged from your mind. When I'm having sleepless nights and I can't stop what I call the loop in my head, I write. But some of that requires dealing with those triggers, and the mind doesn't want to go there, doesn't even let you get close. It's like there's barbed wire, a moat, electric fencing, and you can't get in enough to deal with what it is that's actually causing the hurt. I don't like this colour, so I'm just going to remove it. If only life could be so simple. Imagine that was hurt. I'm just going to tap it out right there. Oh, that's much better. Yeah. Prefer this muted tone. More like sea foam, I guess. So yeah, you're actually working with the shut box and purging those emotions, but without having to, with a surgeon's scalpel, cut open that wound over and over again, which is really where I draw a line with some of the counselling I've had, talking therapies, should I say. You know, I bless my therapists for the work that they've done to help me. But in reality, where trauma is concerned, talking therapy is, well, very, very painful. Where this isn't, this is fabulous. You know, it's a really gentle way. I can't wait to expose to you the part where you start to see what's in the picture. You start to see the symbols, and of course there's hidden meanings for everybody. So one of my paintings, for me, every time I look at it, I can only see a phoenix. Not a flying phoenix, a restful phoenix, as if it's surveying the land it's going to fly over. I don't know whether it's before or after its conversion, its transformation, but there's this phoenix. That's all I can see. But for other people, they see a bluebird, they see the tree of life, they've seen the sun setting over the sea. So there's hidden meanings for them, you know, bluebird of happiness, the tree of life. Well, the person who sees that is a mother of many children, and yeah, from her part of the world there are a lot of symbology of trees. So I love that the picture means so much to me in its own way, but that it's got so much meaning for other people, and it resonates in totally different ways. Now, most of my work is figurative, and I don't get that. I mean, if I paint an elephant crossing water, you might use a sort of existential thought process and think, is it crossing the sea? Is it crossing a lake? Who's in charge? Who's leading the elephants? You know, what were the elephants thinking? But you're going to see an elephant crossing water. There's never going to be any other way to look at the painting. But here, there are thousands of ways to look at the painting. And I'm interested in how you perceive it as I perceive it. Because we're all perceiving it in a different way. And the colours themselves, well, I'm not using 22 years of interior design experience and a degree in fine art to figure out what colours to use. I'm allowing those colours to kind of choose themselves, and that is part of the magic for me, is that I'm not engaging the part of my mind that is going to decide how this is going to turn out. That is not what we're doing here. What we're doing here is working with the subconscious and the intuition, very specifically. It is pooling because it isn't flat. You can see me fighting my rational mind for perfection here. But I'm not going to give in. I'm not going to give in. Nope. I'm liking where the dark meets the light, so let's get some more of this colour on the page and see what it does. And then give it some extra movement. I'm not going to, oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. I like this blue as well. It's interesting how it's more the sediment that's leaving that blue. Let's see if I can get some more of that out on the page. It's got like a purple undertone. And there are parts of the ocean. Some days the ocean is just so deep, and other days it's just tranquil. And oh, I see another blue I feel like throwing in here. We haven't mixed it, but we're going to chuck it in. Oh, hell yeah. Let's have a lot more of that then. Interesting spot here, the high spots. I wonder how that'll work out, because that'll leave that sediment behind, but it's now on top of the aqua colour, so that's going to bleed slowly into the watery areas. Like it. So unfortunately I can't finish it in one sitting. I will have to leave this to dry. Sometimes I use a blow dry as part of the process, but if I'm going to let things pool to get some shape and some sort of idea of where we're moving, the first one at least, I won't. I will just let it dry in natural time, which means these videos will be done in parts because I can't speed up the natural processes. I'd like to, but somewhere you have to just leave it open. Leave it open to whatever it's going to do. What do you think of that green? I think I'm loving this, where the green and the blue sort of coexists. Maybe I shouldn't. Look at that. Look at that. I have been known to take my pictures to the bath and completely rinse them off, and then work with what's left. You won't believe the colours that get left behind. It's just mesmerizing. You can't mix those colours. They're just something that happens when sediment is left behind. But some of my best pictures have been done like that. You just kind of leave it to the creator. He's a greater creator than I am. Yeah. Isn't he just? All we can do is mimic what's out there. Easy, Tugger. I didn't mean get off the page. I think this is my favorite blue now, today. Why is that bump in the middle bothering me so much? I'm going around the other side. bigger pages definitely allow for more manipulation. They stick up better to the wet board underneath. Let's see how that goes. Oh, I like where the fingers stayed. I might throw some white in here as well. You'll just love how this works. Where is my white? Actually use gesso for those that are interested in the actual. And water, I do it my way, everyone has their own way. I just put some water in the lid because it needs to be really watery. Watch this. Isn't that like a little bit of magic? Isn't that fab? Tell me that isn't gorge. It's so much fun. I just love it. It's like having a wand. I don't know if you can see, but the surface now has a white sediment and then there's the color underneath. So you get this like multi-layers that happen when I do this, and I just find it mesmerizing. Just watching it actually happen is enough to make me excited. It's interesting how it dries because it does actually maintain the multi-levels. I need some thicker white, I think. Just want to put one in the middle there. That's it. That's it. Do a little bit of tidying up quickly. I'm busy. I don't like my space to get filthy, but this was why at university they thought that I was visiting a friend from the law department, because I came and left in these immaculate clothes. I never had paint on me, all my clothes. I'm exceedingly stressed about my environment, and that is partly the other side, which is interior design. So, you know, there's a mindfulness about staining things and taking care of things. So that is the first part. I hope you enjoyed it. Follow for more. I will break it up into different parts, and stay tuned, because the best part is at the end when I start to unpack what's there, and hopefully get some feedback from those watching about what's there.